Sorry. Yeah, today we are going to start about the JDBC concept. Okay, till now we have discussed only the core Java. Okay, so what are all things that we can develop by using core Java? Okay, and what is the use of advanced Java? Okay, let me give clarification on that. By using core Java, okay, we can develop only the applications that are specific to the particular system. Okay, we can't use those software in other than that system. Okay, like let's say I have downloaded one software that is only available only in my system, then I can say that is a standalone application. Okay, so if the application that can be accessed over the web, okay, I can access that application within my system or any other systems also. If I am able to access, then we can say that application is a web application. Okay, how can you develop that web application? By using advanced concepts that is called JDBC, servlets, and JSP. Okay, what are the importance of these three? Okay, let's see. Okay, now let me explain. So the applications which are running on a single mission are called standalone application. Okay, with core Java, whatever till now we have discussed, with that we can develop only the standalone applications, not web applications. Okay, if we want to develop any web applications, okay, what is mean by web application? Web application means the application which we can access over the web through internet, then we can say that as web applications. Okay, now like for example of Gmail, Facebook, anyone can access, right? So through web we can access them, so that is the reason we can say these are web applications. Let's say in my system I am running my MS Word application, so the same I can't without installing I can't run the MS Word in other systems, right? This is specific to my system. If they want in the same they want to open the MS Word, then they have to install that application, then only it can open. So in that case those applications we will call it as a standalone applications. Is it clear, guys, the difference between these two? Guys, from this time onwards it should be interactive. Okay, so if not clear, just stop that time itself and then ask me. Okay, now second. Yeah, now, so to develop the web application, we should know of JDBC, servlets, and JSP. What are the role of each and every one? We'll see. Okay. Now, if you want to develop any presentation logic means, let's say for example of gmail.com, right? Gmail. Or anything. This is the UI, right? To develop this one, there are some HTML code, something they have written internally, right? So maybe they have written a lot of code. So this is called JSPs or some different language. Okay. In our case, just assume it is a JSP. For writing of the presentation logic, we will use JSPs. Okay. So wherever the presentation logic is required, the login page, registration page, those will call it as a presentation logic pages. Okay, to display the something some to the user, end user, something to the end user. Okay, then we can write those code inside JSP logic, inside JSPs. So that is whenever presentation logic is required, that is to display something to the end user. Let's assume in our case, in case of Gmail, we are the end users, right? So to display the some content to the end user, so they have written some logic by using presentation logic, that is called JSP. Okay, in our case. Now the pages is login page, error page, or result page, anything. Okay, we'll say some examples. Now whenever some processing logic is required, then we should go for a servlet. Okay, like going to DB connection, all those things, some filtrations, all those logic. If you want to write, then we should go for servlet. Okay, then we should go for servlet, some processing logic. The request answer after submission of submit button in the Facebook. Once login, let's say Facebook. Okay. Already default it is that. Yeah, here what we are giving some email and then password, and then we are clicking login button, right? So on click on login button, okay, it should go and check in the backend like whether he is the authorized user or not, right? All those validation logic we will write inside servlet. This is the presentation logic, right? So that is the reason we have used JSP. Okay, once after entering username and password, after click on login, the request will come to servlet to process that whether the username and password is correct or not, verify the user and communicate with the database and processing the end user's data, which we need to return back to the end user. Those are logic we need to write inside servlet. Is it clear, guys? Guys, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please reply. Okay, so if not clear, I'll explain that time itself. Now again, where is the role of JDBC? Okay, inside servlet, it will interact with the database. Okay, what is the use of database, guys? Tell me what you know as of now. Whatever you know, just tell me what is
To
the use
stay
of database.
to store the data.
To store the data, correct, right? So any application compulsory it should interact with the database, correct, right? Whether the username or whatever the details that we have, employees data or Facebook information and your friends request, all those things should be there inside the database, right? To get the database, first we need to interact with the database. How to interact with the database means, by using JDBC logic we can write that. That is part of Java code. Okay, from Java application, servlet is there, right? From servlet we can interact with the, from servlet or some different service layer logic is there. Okay, from that we can interact with the database by using JDBC. Okay, the JDBC role is to interact with the database, to communicate with the database. Then we should go for JDBC. JDBC means Java database connectivity. Is it clear, guys? These are the three parts. Now we are in JDBC part. How to interact with the database? How can we interact with that? Okay, what all things that we need to know, that we are going to start today. Okay, the JDBC means Java database connectivity. Okay, so which is used by Java application. This JDBC is like we write in the Java code. Okay, JDBC is will write in the Java code only to interact with the database. Let's say currently I have installed Oracle database. Okay, in my system I have installed Oracle database. Okay, there is some data is there. I want to create the tables. I want to update the database. I want to get the database. What is there in the database? I want to delete some records. Like that, if you want to do any card operations, card means CURD. Card means it's like C means create. Okay, U means update. R means retrieve. Okay, retrieve, just assume. And D means delete. Okay, guys, we'll call it as a card applications. Okay, if you want to normally, if any data is there means what are all the operations that we can do. So apart from create, update, select, or we can say select also. Okay, select and delete. Any other operation that we can do, guys? Apart from these four, any operation that we can do? Anyone? If any, let's say assume I want to create new user. So what we can do? We can create, right? I want to update some database of, I want to update some details of that user. Then we can do update. If I want to retrieve his information, then I can use select or retrieve. If I want to delete that details of that user, then I can use delete. Anything else that we can do? No, right? Only these operations that we can do any on top of any database. Correct. Now, to perform these operations, we will use JDBC. We'll use to operate to do these code operations from Java application. We need JDBC API. What is API? Again, you may have some doubt. Okay, what is API? API means okay. API means application programming interface. Application programming interface. Application programming. Okay. Application programming interface. Okay. Interface. Okay. What exactly it contains? What exactly it contains? It is like a pure PDF document. It contains some classes and interfaces with the names only, but there is no implementation. It is like a some specification. Okay, it is a specification means only like a PDF. Okay, no coding, only PDF. Whoever want to provide implementation for that by using that classes and names, they can create their own implementation. We'll call them as a vendor. We'll call them as a vendor. Whoever, let's say, have given some API. Okay, who provide implementation? Many people has provided implementation. Oracle people for JDBC API. JDBC API. JDBC API is a specification. Okay, it contains only, let's say, if you want, I can give more on that. JDBC API specification. Okay, this of see JDBC API specification. It contains only okay. It contains only the PDF. Okay, there is no much things. So whoever want the vendor based on that specification, they can develop their own classes and APIs. Anything classes and interfaces, they can provide implementation for that. Okay, implementation PDF. Let's see series now. Open this. Okay, before that, it is of specification. I should write JDBC 4.2 version. Yeah, it is of specification. What it contains? There is no classes. Only they are mentioned some names of the classes and interfaces which can be used inside to connect any database. If you are using this specification and develop your own software, by using that software you can connect to your database. Okay, in the same way for let's say I want to Oracle people provided implementation for this API. Okay, Oracle people provide implementation. Then in that case, whatever the classes and interfaces provided implementation, those are bundled together into a jar file. Okay, with that jar file, we can connect to the database. That will come along with the database. Let's say in my system, if I'm installing Oracle software, okay, let's say if I'm installing in my Oracle software in my system, along with that Oracle, they have given some jar file to connect with the database. Okay, that's what, let's say I have installed Oracle 19c in my system. Okay, as part of once you are installed, then as part of that installation, you will get how to connect with the database by using those classes. Which classes? JDBC specification classes. Okay, they have provided inside this logic. Let's say JDBC. Yeah, inside this lib as part of OJDBC 8 jar. Okay, OJDBC 8 jar. As part of this, they have provided implementation for all the classes. Let's see. Let me extract it and then see that. Extract here. So as part of specification, callable statement is a result set. All these are classes, right? There is no any implementation. Everything is a documentation. It is like a specification means it's like a PDF document. Okay, there is no software. So based on this, whoever want to develop their own software, they can use this specification. Okay, now let's go and see all the classes. As part of this, they have created their own classes, Oracle, Blob, like that many classes. They have provided implementation. Okay, but as part of specification, it doesn't have anything. So that means that Oracle people provided implementation for JDBC API. Okay, that means that the we can say Oracle as a vendor for JDBC. So now what we can do, let me read it now. with- yeah, the Java database connectivity API, which is used by Java application to interact with the database. Java JDBC API makes Java application more almost independent of database users. So here, let's say if I want to connect Oracle, then I can use Oracle driver. Okay, if I want to connect MySQL database, then I can use of MySQL driver. They have developed their own class and everything, and then bundled together into a jar file. Maybe we can say it as a MySQL jar file. Okay, if your application using JDBC API to interact with the database, then we don't need to do much code. These things we can say, yeah. Let me give more details on that. Let me say, let me, where is it? Classes, right? Let me, we can say of some classes, right? Here only we can take it. Some Google only. Some classes will take it. Any classes. Result sets connection, all these things, statement, these are some classes. Now let me take off where exactly these are available. Okay, as part of JDBC, these are the two packages that contains java.sql and javax.sql, these there. Okay, so you can say like let me say statement, you can say they have provided implementation, I said, right? Now go to this package, where it is java.sql.statement, Java dot Oracle dot statement, somewhere it might be there. Statement, somewhere it should be, the statement should be available. We will see statement, prepared statement, like that. Multiple classes will be there. Statement, prepared statement. They have provided implementation for all the classes of what is there in the JDBC API. Okay, where is that? Data source, Oracle data source, Oracle driver. This is one of the, let's say I'm taking off some different one more class. Okay, so as part of this, we are taking off this one of the Oracle driver class. This mainly used to load our database. Okay, Oracle driver class to register our class with driver. Okay, Oracle driver class, here we are mentioned means compulsory Oracle people are provided implementation for this class. Okay, this is the implementation class. Okay, in the same way they have provided for prepared statement, like that for all Oracle statements. Yeah, see this Oracle statement class. So they have provided implementation for all the classes. Okay, prepared statement is there again, Oracle prepared statement. Yeah, Oracle prepared statement. Like that, they have provided implementation for all the classes. If I'm using MySQL, then I need to use of MySQL jar file. Okay. Now let's say before that, let's read it. We'll see that practically also. Okay. Now, how exactly I'm showing that true diagram? This is our Java application. Inside that, we need to use JDBC API to interact with the database. Okay, as part of JDBC, directly it can't interact. Okay, so you're the JDBC vendor provide implementation for that JDBC API. We need to include that jar file in our class path application class path. Then only it can interact with the database. Okay, let me even that we'll see through practically, guys. Okay, before that, just read it theoretically know it. JDBC API not directly interact with the database. Okay, simply directly it can't interact. Something is required. Okay, it uses JDBC driver of that database. With the database you want to connect. Let's say if you want to connect with Oracle means they have provided the JDBC driver class. Okay, of Oracle JDBC driver class. If you want to connect with MySQL, then MySQL people provided one jar file that will called as a JDBC driver, JDBC MySQL JDBC driver class. Okay. If you want to with Postgres, then they have provided their own jar file. We need to add that in our class path if you want to connect with the MySQL or Postgres or whatever it is. Okay. To interact with their database. What is JDBC driver? Okay. Let's see. JDBC driver is a software. Okay, JDBC driver is a software component which is required by the JDBC API to interact with the database. Okay, each database will have their own JDBC driver. I'm telling each JDBC, each database people they have their own JDBC driver that will come along with their software. Okay, the driver is supplied by the database vendor along with their software whenever you are installing. Okay, even it is coming as part of the installation, right? This is coming as part of installation to me. If I want to connect any of Oracle database, I have installed. Yes,
Documented
please.
and immediate upload without any documentation. If you are interested, press 1 if your salary is less than 20,000 per month. Press 2 if
Sorry.
your salary is more than 20,000 per.
Hello. Hi, sir. Speaking. Someone is speaking. Any doubt? Okay. Now, what are JDBC drivers? I tell you, it is a some software. It is a some bundled together all the implementation classes. We call it as a JDBC driver. Okay. Now, JDBC API directly it can communicate with the database, right? I said it is simple in simple term. JDBC drivers are nothing but the implementations of interfaces provided in JDBC API. As part of JDBC API, whatever the classes that you have provided, they have provided implementation for that and with respect to the particular database. Okay, and these implementations are bundled in a jar file. Okay, all they have clubbed into one jar file and supplied with their database software. Okay, these implementation classes are used by the JDBC API to interact with the database. Now we'll see through practically, guys. First read it. Okay, before we are using before JDBC we are using of ODBC drivers. Okay, there are ODBC drivers are developed in C++. Two, there are some portable issues are there. Okay, to interact with that by using ODBC there are a lot of portable issues. Okay, that is the reason we are not using of ODBC drivers. There are some JDBC drivers is there. Those are type 1, type 2, type 3 and type 4. Out of all these things, there are some disadvantages with even all are with Java, but there is some disadvantage with this first three drivers. Okay, it is even if you are using first driver means internally it will convert to ODBC and then that will convert interact with the database. Okay, it is of long is there. Okay, first whatever the Java code we need to do, it will convert to the ODBC again that will convert to database. Okay, Again, when it is coming back, it will convert to ODBC, and then it will convert to Java, and then it will come back to our application. So there is a lot of intermediate translation is happening. So due to that reasons, we will not use of most of the first three drivers. Only type 4 driver only will use it. We'll call this driver as also a thin driver. Okay, we'll call type 4 driver is also a thin driver. Okay guys, now the most important classes and interface of JDBC. Okay, some most important one I am telling. Driver, okay, and a connection, statement, prepare statement, callable statement, result set, result set metadata, database metadata. These are the interfaces which we can use mostly. And some classes is driver manager class, date class, time, timestamp, and types. These are some classes that we'll use in our applications mostly. Okay, now we'll start with connecting with database. Okay, these are the interface and classes. Now we'll start with there are some steps to connect our Java application with database. Means we need to follow some steps. Okay, step by step, then easily we can understood that. So first thing is first we need to register the driver class. Let's say you want to connect the Oracle database or MySQL database or Postgres or whatever the database Sybase, whatever the database you want to going to connect. First part is we need to register with the database to which we want to connect. Okay, the next part. Next, create the connection object. Once we are registered with that specific database, then we can create our connection. Okay, then we can create our connection by using connection object. There is a interface. Okay, with this we can create connection object. Okay, by passing some parameters that we'll see. The next part is create statement. Okay, what is the use of statement? Okay, if I want to create some table in the database, okay, I want to execute some, I want to insert some data, I want to update some data, I want to delete some data, then we can use up some statement object to execute that query or whatever it is. Okay, after that, after creating the statement, we need to execute that statement which we created in the line step 3. That is part of step 4. We can execute that queries which we have created in step 3. Okay, after that, once our work is completed with the database, then compulsory we need to close the DB resources. We need to close the connection. Otherwise, let's say if we are creating only one connection, means once completion of our work with the database, we need to close the connection. Otherwise, if some other people are trying to connect, it will cause some issues. Okay, so that is also very important to closing of the DB connections. Okay, now the first one, how can I register the driver class? How to register the driver class to as a Oracle driver or MySQL or whatever it is? Okay, how can I register my class? That first step is the first step in connecting database with the Java program is registering the driver of the database. Okay, this step needs to be performed only once. Okay, registration should be only once. We need to do that for entire application. Okay, now we can register the driver class by using two ways. One is class dot for name, the other one is driver manager dot register driver. Okay, by using these two ways, we can register the driver. Okay, these two methods will throw checked exceptions. So compulsory we need to use try catch, or we need to throw that, or we need to throw that exception in the method level. Let's see, I'm giving example with for both. Okay, by using class dot for name method. So inside try block, class dot for name of we need to use this driver class. Okay, Oracle driver class. I'm installed Oracle, right? So I want to connect Oracle driver. So before that, first I need to register my Oracle driver class. Okay, by using class dot for name of we need to give this driver class. Okay, Oracle driver class. Then internally our application will be registered with Oracle driver. Okay, that is one part. And one more is driver D equal to new Oracle driver class. Create an object of that Oracle driver class and pass the driver object to driver manager dot register of that driver class, whichever that is. If it is a MySQL means MySQL driver, then we need to pass that object here. Okay, this is the first step to register the driver. Okay, any JDBC driver. Now next part, creating of connection, creating connection object. How to create that connection object with the database? Till now we registered with the Oracle database is registered in our application, but still now we didn't get the connection. Still now we didn't get the connection. For that we have a class java.sql.connection object is there. Okay, inside that there is a method called get connection method. Get connection method, it takes off multiple parameters. Okay, URL, username, password. By using these three we can connect with the database. We can connect with the database and then we can get one connection. Okay, now there are multiple ways is there. By using single URL, by using URL and properties. Okay, now we'll see these are overloaded methods for get connection. Okay, now some examples I have seen here. So the URLs are like for Oracle, see JDBC colon Oracle colon thin colon at or host name. If it is a database, whatever the where it is exactly installed, then we need to give a that host and port and with the database name. This is for Oracle URL, this format. For MySQL it is different. It is changed from the URL from database to database. That is not means that we don't need to already whatever the Oracle people are MySQL the vendors, they will provide this URL format. Based on that we need to modify the details as per our installation. Okay, now let's see. Now I will show you that in the Oracle we have installed, right? That I will show you that. So for getting off through Oracle by using three parameters. Okay, Oracle URL is JDBC colon Oracle colon then at localhost. Why localhost? The Oracle is installed in my local system. That is the reason I given as a local host. And the port is default port of Oracle is 1521. Default port of Oracle is 1521, and this is the database name that I have given at the time of installation. At the time of Oracle installation, I have given this name. Okay, and whatever the username that you can use that at the time of installation. The system is the default user. Okay, if want we can give new password for that. I given the password is also as ORCL. Okay, and then in this way we can and directly driver manager dot get connection of URL, username, password. These three we need to pass to that get connection method. Then it will return one connection object. Okay, with the database. These are other two ways. Okay, by using get connection of single URL. As part of this, everything it contains. Okay, username it contains and password also it contains. Okay, and everything JDBC colon Oracle then username and password at localhost 1521 Oracle ORCL. Okay, with single parameter. Here in this case we are getting connection by using three parameters. In this case we are using only by using single parameter. As part of URL itself we are configured that username and password also both. The next one is by using get connection of with URL and with properties. This properties you have seen in the collection class, right? To store of that key value pair we can use this one, right? So as part of URL is same, but the properties I have created one object. So as part of this object I am inserting two values. One is username and password both. Username and password inserted, and that object I am passing driver manager dot get connection of URL and properties object. Then whenever it is trying to get the connection from the properties, it will pick that username and password, and then with this URL it will create the connection with the corresponding database. Okay. The next one is create statement. Till now we got the connection. Okay. The second step is over. Is it clear, guys? The first two steps, guys, it's clear. If not
Yes,
clear,
sir.
please let me know. I'll repeat it. Okay.
Yes, yes, sir.
Now, till now we have registered our driver class. Which driver? JDBC driver with Oracle. Okay, with Oracle NDR. Now, next one is connection object. Once the Oracle driver is registered, then I created one connection object by passing of URL, username, and password of Oracle. Okay, then it will create the connection. From that connection object, we can create the statement. Okay, we can create the statements. Which what the statement? It contains which you want to execute in with the database. Okay, I have created some set of statements. I want to execute these statements, right? The create table, update table, or insert data like that. The statements we need to create. Okay, as part of step 3. Okay, now let's see. To create statement object, we have a method called create statement method. Create statement method of connection object obtained in the above step. In the step 2, we have received connection object, right? So from connection con dot create statement means then it will create a statement object. Okay, after with the statement object, we can execute queries. Statement dot execute query of that query whichever you want. Okay, now we'll see. This is the third step, create statement. Now fourth step is execute queries. Executing the queries, whatever you have given as part of the statements. Okay, that we need to execute by using, there are some methods are there: execute query, execute update, execute. Okay, like that, there are some methods are there. With that we can execute that queries. Okay, after the fifth step is to close out the DB resources. Compulsory at the end of our operation, compulsory we should close the resources of DB connection and statement and result set. All those things we need to close by using a method called close method of the respective object. If it is a close connection means con.close. Close. If it is a statement means there is a method called close method as part of all classes to close of that resources. Okay, is the syntax for that. Now we'll see statement. Two example I will discuss. I will tell you this one: prepare statement and callable statement tomorrow's class. Now we'll see statement with the example. Okay. Now the statement is used to execute the queries, normal SQL queries. It may be create query, create table query, or insert, or update, or delete, whatever you want. We can use statement. Okay, statement. What is the use of prepared statement? As part of statement, the queries are hard coded one. Queries are hard coded one. We can't dynamic queries. We can't do that. Okay, but by using prepared statement, we can execute dynamic queries or parameterized queries. Let's say, for example, so as part of this table, we have one record is there, right? So if I want to get let's say 100 records is there, then in that case what we can do, select star from, if I want to get from only the employee ID triple two. Okay, from emp table where emp number equal to triple two means then only single record will retrieve. Okay, if I want to get up some other record. Okay, let's assume in database here 1000 records is there, then by using statement we can't modify the data. If only fixed query means only for at a time only one query, but we can't modify the, let's say this time I given one or triple two. Okay, next time if I'm giving, I'm changing of employee ID means compulsory we should modify the code. Without modifying code we can't, but by using prepared statement we can execute of dynamic queries or parameterized queries. Okay, these two are only for queries. But if you want to execute database procedures, okay, database procedures is not like single line. There are some thousands of lines of code will be there as part of procedures. If you want to execute that, then we need to use of callable statement. Okay, maybe it is very difficult for you people to understand the procedure means, as it is a database one, right? So I'll explain you tomorrow that the Oracle part, at least some basic part I'll explain you to regarding Oracle. How to create the table, okay, insert data, update data, delete data, some joins, little bit things. I will explain some briefly tomorrow. Okay, guys. So now the first one is statement. If I want to execute the queries, before that we need to create statement, right? So statement is an interface used to execute normal queries. Okay, we can't pass parameters to this query, okay, to the SQL query at runtime by using this interface. This is a fixed query, we can't modify that at runtime. Okay, now we'll see of through practically, guys. Now let me open up that one example. Database create table, let's say. So what I am doing, okay, as part of, let me delete this table. Okay, drop table. Now we don't have table. Okay, see that table or view does not exist. Let me refresh it, even it will delete from here. We don't have employee table, right? Now what I want to do, I want to create one table in the database, okay, by using statement. So till now we have seen the first step is what we have seen. First, what is the step, guys? What is the first step? What is the
We
first
need
step,
to
guys?
call.
Sorry,
We need to call. So
no, what is the first step to get the connection from the database? First step is register the
driver.
driver. Okay, I'm creating one sample application, register the driver class. First step is, right. So that too, it is a one-time task, right, guys? So I'm writing that logic in static block. This will be loaded only at the time of class loading. Okay. So class dot for name of Oracle driver I'm registering. Okay. If this driver is not identified, if this driver is not identified, let's say I have configured the driver. Let's say if I'm deleting this, remove it and apply. So now just I created program. I'm trying to running this program. Okay, I'm trying to connect to Oracle database, right? By using Oracle driver, I am registering. Now internally at the time of running, it will check whether this Oracle driver class is part of in class path, part of class path, whether this jar file is there or not. Then let's see, it will give class not found exception. See, unable to load driver class. No suitable driver found for to load up this one, guys. Now how to, now we are using Oracle driver, right? So compulsory we need to add that we need to add Oracle driver in the class path. We need to add Oracle driver in the class path. How to means, click on the project, okay, go to build path and configure build path. Okay, now, as part of select left side menu, select Java build path. Go to libraries tab. Okay, I am adding external libraries. This is in there my system. See where it is. I have installed my Oracle in C drive, Oracle 19C, and Windows 64 home as part of this JDBC. Okay, JDBC inside this libraries, inside this OJDBC 8, select that and then open it. Okay, now it is now it is registered. Now it is registered. Now after that, if I am trying to modify of the credentials, if I am trying to giving some wrong credentials, actual my database is let me show you. My database credentials are username is system, okay, and the password is orcl. Password is also orcl, and service name database name I also have given as orcl. Okay, this is the service name. If I'm giving wrong this one, then it will not connect. Okay, now let's say I have given the name, the username is changed, right? Anything, any one is changed also, it cannot connect that. It will give username and password is wrong. Now let's see. It will give username and password is login is denied because of invalid username and password. Okay, if you are giving system username is correct, password is wrong, also it will not connect. It will give, it is trying for the connection, it is not giving because of some invalid details, invalid username and password. Compulsory we need to give correct credentials. Okay, even this also we should not correctly we should give. If any small change is also there, it can't do that. Careful guys, whenever you are giving this url username and password, it can't invalid oracle url specified. Clear guys, it should be compulsory, you need to give bit carefully whenever you are giving this url username and password. Now what is the second step guys? Up to now registered, right? Registered the driver. The second step is, what is the second step guys? Please respond guys.
Connection.
Yes,
Connection object.
we need to get the connection by using get connection method. It is expecting of three parameters. One is url, username and password. Okay, we need to pass these three values. Where is the url, username, password I have given in the above. Okay, three values I am passing to the get connection method. Get connection method. After that, now, now it is created one connection object. Don't give anything. It's just created connection. After the statement, next line. After the next line, we'll see. I said there is a method called each and every line I will enable separately. The first statement is con dot create statement, right? I told you as part of con we have multiple methods are there. I want to create statement. I want to create a statement. There is a method called create statement to return that statement object. Okay, then it will return statement. Okay, already I have created initially, then I am replacing that with that. After creating statement, I have created one SQL query. I want to, what is my statement? It contains create table in create table employee with employee number, okay, employee name and designation and salary. Okay, now so how to create table means guys, tomorrow I will tell you this one. Okay, now so this is the statement it will create actually. Let's say if you want, normally if you are executing this statement in the execute this statement in database, okay, it will create one table. Let's run it. Okay, the table is created, table emp created. Now let's see, refresh it. Employee table is created. See this guys, with whatever you have created, employee name, employee name, the employee, sorry, employee number, employee name, designation and salary. Sorry, designation, let me drop it, and then okay, No, created. Okay, table created. Now let's refresh it. It is with 4 columns, it is created. I don't want to do in the database, in the directly in the Oracle. I want to create that. I want to create table from Java application. I want to create from Java application. Now let's drop it. And then guys, see that, do we have employee table now? It is there, right? Now let's drop it. Tabular view does not exist. Refresh it. Employee table is gone. Right. Now I don't want to create the table here. I want to create from application. From my Java code, I want to create the table. Then this is the statement that I have created, added here, okay, as part of string. And then I want to execute that statement by using execute update. By using statement, here I have created statement. From statement dot execute update of that SQL query which we created, okay, that we need to pass as a parameter to this method. Okay, it will create that table in the database and it will return some integer value. Okay, if it is I equal to 0 means, then it means it is created. Okay, some integer value it will return. Okay, now let's see with that closing of the statement is missed. Okay, now guys, now we don't have the table in the here. Now I'm creating the table from application. Now let's see. Table is created message. That means this condition is satisfied. Table is created. Now let's go on, see in the table, refresh the database. See that now we got of employee table created in the database. Guys, is it clear? Guys, is it clear? It is first statement for creating table in the database. Okay, guys, are you able to hear me? Can you
Yes,
please
sir.
reply? Yeah. So this is for creating part. The next one is I want to insert. Sorry, after creating table, so we need to close the connections, right? After fourth step, what is the fourth step? We are executing queries by using execute method, right? After that, we need to close DB resources. If it is not null means, then finally block. Inside finally block. Remember, guys, in the exceptions we have we discussed about the finally block. Do you remember, guys? So the closing connections must be doing in the finally block. It will be executed irrespective of whether the exception is raised or not, raised exception is handled or not. All this without that, irrespective of that, the finally block will execute. Right. Now see, statement is not null means I am closing that. Connection is not null means I am closing the connection. Okay. So this is the closing part. Okay, now this is for creating of a table, for creating table in the database. Let's copy this. If I'm not adding it, yeah. Clear, guys. Now we'll see one more program for inserting data into the database. Now everything is same. The connection, registering the driver, okay, getting the connection, these two is same, and statement is also same. We are using of statement only, not prepared statement. So what I'm doing, I'm writing one insert statement. This is the way of writing for insert statement for data into database. Let's say if I'm giving this, what is that? Let's see here. We don't have any data right now, right? Let me try to run this query. This is the database query. Okay, so it will insert one record, one row is inserted. Let's see, commit the change. Okay, after that, now let's select that table. How many records is there? One record is inserted. Now I want to insert one record from code. Let's say change some data. Okay, don't some amount of 1000. Okay, some amount. Now I am inserting. I created statement. I created one SQL query. I'm executing through execute update of that passing of that statement. Right. Now let's run it. Row is created. Now let's go and refresh the and run the query again. Now one more record is inserted. Guys, is it clear? Second part.
Yes, sir.
Please, guys, if not understanding, please ask me at that time only. I'm asking multiple times. Okay. Now this will be used most of the times. Normally, internally, even the framework also will use internally this one only. Okay. Internally frameworks, not bias. Now these are the basics we need to understand for the database. If you want to develop any applications with the web applications, compulsory the database minimum knowledge is required. Now, after that, let's. This is for creating records in the database. Okay. Now, if I want to update of record, if I want to or I want to select the data, then the register driver is same. Okay, and only the part will change is the driver connection is same and statement is also same, and the query also we have written select star from employee, select star from employee. This query is giving some result, right? If I'm running this query, it is giving up some data, two records with four columns, right? Now I want to get the data and display, then how can you do that? So SQL string SQL equal to I have written string, and I'm executing of this query from by using statement. Before we are using execute update. Now we need to use of statement dot execute query. Execute query. This it will take some parameter the query. Okay, it will return some data which is there in the database. Okay, that in the form of result set. I am combining all the result whatever it is returning and storing in result set object. Okay, that through this object we need to iterate the data. Through this object we need to iterate the data. As guys, do you remember as part of collection we are using iterator, iterator dot has next, like that we are identifying the data is there or not. Okay, here also result set contain the data contains next, then it will return boolean value. If data is there, then the condition will satisfy, and then from this object what is the first column, what is the table first column, I'm giving star, right? So all are some columns. What is the type of this column? Number. Okay, so then in that case get int, get integer of first column, the position of that column. Get, it will give employee id. Now what is the second type? Varchar. Varchar will represent as a string in the Java. Okay, now the third designation is also a string. Varchar means the salary is number. It is of 7 comma 2 with decimal is there. The meaning of that 7 comma 2. 7 position and 2 is the decimal points. Okay. Then in that case, it will treat as a get double. Okay. The second one is get string of second column, get string of third column, get double of fourth column. Okay, it will iterate how many number of records is that many number of times it will iterate that. Now let's run it. That guys, it is executed first employee ID triple two. Ramesh, lead developer and his salary. Again, next time if the record is there, it will return true. Okay. Again, next employee triple one, John Peter, developer and some thousand salary. Okay. This is of select query for selecting. If you want to update some data in the database, then we need to use of update query. You need to use of the change is only the query here. Update set employee name equal to John Peter. Instead of that, let's keep up some IBC or some or Christopher. Okay. Now wherever that employee number triple one is there, I want to update his employee name to some Christopher. Okay. Now same before for getting the data execute query. If for updating for creating everything will use execute update. Okay. Then now let's see. Okay. Row is updated. Zero means no rows is updated. The meaning of that. Okay. Now let's see and go and check in the database. Go to data. Now let's run it. Instead of John Peter, it is changed to Christopher. Okay, this is of update query. Now, if you want to delete the record, okay, now the change is only the remaining steps are common. Okay, only the based on the requirement, only the small thing only we need to modify it. This is the delete query. I want to execute of this query. Execute update. Execute update of this delete query means internally it will execute this query and then it will delete from the database. Now let's run it. Row is deleted. Now let's refresh the data. Now one record is deleted. One record is deleted. Guys, is it clear still now? This
Yes,
is
sir.
a for some database operations through JDBC. Okay, through I am using only statement, not prepared statement, not callable statement. Only one is we have seen that. Only one we have seen. The rest of the two we will see tomorrow. Okay, what is that? What it is saying? Use it to execute dynamic parameters. Okay, they are parameterized. Let's say where is that insert table? Let me insert one more record through application. Now row is created. Let's run it. It is inserted one more record. Now I want to get this. I want to get this. Is that? Yeah. No, not this. Select query, update query, or update query. Let's say or table select query. No update. Yeah. So here directly I have hard coded that values right before also. Here if I want to dynamically pass the values, then we need to give question mark. We'll call it as a positional parameters. Then in this case, instead of creating statement, we need to create a prepared statement. Now let's simply delete query writer. Sample with the data prepared STMT. Now, as part of this, I want to pass the value as dynamically. Then here we need to create prepared statement object. There is a method called prepared statement. Create on dot prepared statement. there is a method will be there. Yeah. So conduct prepared statement. Why it is given? Conduct is a method called prepared statement. Yeah. Need to execute of this query directly. Need to use it. Okay. This is actually it is a prepared statement, not statement. Sorry. Prepared prepared statement PSTMT equal to null of this that of what it is calling on dot create prepared statement prepared statement of and view of this query. I'll give this through example tomorrow. Okay, I'll explain this tomorrow. For this we will pass the parameters through set int of first positional parameter. The value is I want to delete of triple two. Okay, p statement of execute update. Okay, now let's see how many records is there. This value we can pass dynamic also whenever you are calling. Okay, now I'll see if what happened. Okay, p statements. Okay, no issue. And one more issue. Semicolon is measured. Now let's run it. Row is deleted. This value we can pass dynamically. We will not change that query. Okay, whatever you are passing, whenever you are calling this method, I will pass that dynamical value. That value it will delete. Let's refresh it. Now it is deleted. Triple two. Guys, okay, maybe we will discuss positional parameters or prepared statement more tomorrow. Okay, guys. So the difference between statement, prepared statement, and callable statement is for fixed queries. We can't modify that. Prepared statement is for dynamic queries. If you want to execute queries dynamically based on values, then we can go for a prepared statement. If you want to execute procedures in the database, then we need to use callable statement. Okay, guys, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tomorrow I'll explain about some database concept, minimum basic things I'll explain to you guys, how to create the table, update the records, all those things. Okay, and then I'll explain of prepared statement and callable statement lightly. Even callable statement is not required, but the you can't understand of the procedure concept. Okay, but I will try to give some sample procedure and then execute of that. Okay, yeah, I'm sharing this document, guys. Just please go through it. Okay, and then tomorrow we can discuss of a prepared statement and callable statement and some database. Half an hour I'll explain about database also, creating tables, all those things before that, and then we'll go to the actual concepts. Yes, guys, any doubts you can ask me now.
Sir, how we can create?
Sorry, please. How?
We can create URL, sir.
URLs, right?
Yes.
This one is whenever you are installing database. Okay, whenever you are installing database, that time it will ask some username and password. Okay, username is system by default, it will be there, and you need to give password, and it will ask of some database name also. Based on that we can construct that URL. Everything is common inside this. Only what is changing is as part of URL. So this is fixed one. The whole if you are installing that Oracle in your local system, I can give local host. If you are installing in Linux or somewhere, then IP will be there, right? That system IP will give, and at the time of that, it will ask some port also. Okay, like at the time of installation of Tomcat, default port is 8080. While installing of Oracle, 1521 is the port. 1521 is the port of that software. Okay, while accessing. That is common. Okay, no change. If you want to change means at the time of installation we need to modify it. But no need to modify it. Keep leave it as it is. And this is the name of the database. Name of the service which you want. Okay, that you need to give it. If you are not giving, by default it will be if you are using Express Edition. If you're using Express Edition, Enterprise Edition is there. Okay, Standard Edition is there. Those are purchase. We need to purchase Oracle. So Enterprise Express Edition means that is free source. Okay, for that default is XE. The service name is default is XE. Okay, I changed that to ORCL. Okay, at the time of installation. And guys, what you people can do is like use YouTube to install that Oracle. It is bit careful and it is more memory is required for installing Oracle. Maybe if you are using of some other database means no issue, but for Oracle means it is bit heavy load. The software is bit heavy, so even sometimes your system also bit slow. It will become okay. So please make sure that you have sufficient RAM is available for that. Okay. Is it clear, Sumit? Sumant or
Okay,
someone? I
sir.
think asked that one.
Suman, Suman.
Yeah, that at the time of you just use YouTube how to download and install that Oracle software. Okay, guys. So through that, follow it. It will take half an hour like that. Okay, not like 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, it will take half an hour around for installing and for setup. Okay, after that what you people will download one more software is Oracle SQL developer. This is the UI for connecting database. Okay, this will not come part of the Oracle software. This you need to download again separately, or else if you want means I can say, but it is of bit heavy. That's what I'm thinking. Softwares, it is bit heavy is there. I have that, but it is of around let me 2.8 GB is there, Oracle software, and one more is half GB is there around SQL developer. These two is required. Yes, if you want to use another database, that is also fine. But I am mostly using of Oracle, right? So even people also will use most Oracle. That is the reason I am preferring Oracle. Clear, guys, or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Oracle and SQL developer. Please install it. Okay, and even installation also bit headache, guys. Be careful at the time of installation of Oracle. Okay, please go through, just go, don't go blindly. Okay, please go through that properly by using YouTube. Okay, some YouTube, just follow that better instead of downloading and directly installing it. Okay, guys, if that is clear, then we'll meet tomorrow again. If any doubt is there, then I can clarify it. No doubt. Okay, then I'll share the document. Okay,
So Sir, differences between println and print, sir. Sir, this one in IO package, file reader is there. In that we used print only, but it's out processes. It's like uh, file reader, sir. IO package, file reader. In that we used print only. No, sir. Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Sir. Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Clear, clear, sir. As is, we what is there? File like that. This one. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Question. Yes, sir. Got it. Clear, sir.